All right.
Hi, Lou.
Episode 8.
Is it 8 already?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Before you know it, we're going to be towards the end of the season here.
Yeah. Well, everybody will get a chance to go at least twice, maybe even 3 times. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see if they want to.
Yeah. Well,
Let's take a look at what happened this week. It wasn't a good week for you, Lou.
it was not.
You came back to earth a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it was to be expected.
You're still in first place.
Yeah. Just barely hanging on.
Yeah, but you've lost the point total battle.
Yeah. Satch took the points. Was it Saturday or Sunday? I turned around. I was like, "Oh, I'm not in first anymore." And then
I would say it'd have to be Sunday.
Well, you see what happened. It could have been actually worse because Satch was only 4 points out of the 6-0, so Paulzadi held on for that. And
well, you got to thank him for that when he comes in.
Yeah, so he would be in first because he's ahead on points. Yeah, you can see my Buddha standing is more toward the middle now because I had a 1 and 5 with 401, and then you see a 2 and 4 was at 403. No, actually 402. Let's play. So if I had one more point, we would have each gone 1 and 4. If I had 2 more, I would have gone 2 and 4, and that was the daddies. Oh, I didn't notice that before.
Yeah, I snuck in there. I picked up a couple pitchers towards the end there. My pitching's up a little bit now. I got some overages. I just need a couple of 6-0 weeks in a row, kind of like what you did to start the season and get myself back into it.
Well, what's nice about the standings this year is like even down to McBride's, you're only like a 6-0. Well, maybe they would need probably a couple of 6-0s, but I mean, it's not like anybody's so far out of the way, especially when you're at this hump here. What, 3.5 games gets you up to 7th, and then there is another 4-game stretch between 7 and 6, and then look at these teams. What, 3.5 separate 3rd through 6th, so it's pretty tight grouping. I mean, we're not. We're almost, I don't know, between a quarter and a third of the way through now, right?
Yeah.
I think I have it down here with the exact.
It's about 45 games, so we're looking at a little
29% through Sunday. So we're 29% of the way through the season through yesterday. So today we'll be at 30%.
And we have our guest waiting.
Is he?
I just bring him in?
Yeah.
All right. We got an empty chair or somebody sitting there. He might have just came into the room and took off for a minute. I told him 8:10, but we're a little early with him.
I see that he's connecting now.
He is. Mr. 6-0 himself this week. Hey! You're an outdoor guy.
Yeah, I like it.
Don't want your wife to hear what you're talking about?
Got a whole on.
Not a whole lot. We're just going over the standings this week, and you took the 6-0.
Oh,
got yourself right into a tie for 4th.
I didn't want to go through this stuff without you because you're the star of the
yeah. I don't know
show
here. My pitching is starting to click. All these I made some pretty good pickups these last few weeks. Just random guys, spot starts,
but
just as your pitching started to click, mine started to sputter.
Yeah.
I got a -19 from a Marco Gonzalez who was quickly dropped. Wow. And then a -7 or 8 the same day from my other starter. I had 2 starters going. I got -26 out of both of them.
I know Gallen had a bad start.
Yeah, he didn't have a good one. I didn't have any pitchers that had great starts this week, let me tell you. It was a struggle.
I didn't have more than maybe one disastrous start. And you can see how hard it is in this league because I went 1 and 5. and I certainly didn't think I was having a disastrous week. I knew it wasn't a great week.
Right, it's tough. Yeah, that's
I
tough.
felt like, without looking at it, I probably would have expected maybe 3-3, maybe a 2-4.
Right.
You know,
I wasn't so sure going into it.
was it?
Although
Ooh,
I know better on my Zoom calls, not the.
yeah,
I had,
your mic clicked out there a little bit.
I had ESPN up and I had some music going. So.
Oh,
Commercial. I was checking the hockey score. So.
So in the weekly email, I pointed out that on April 23rd, Paulzadi was in last.
Yeah.
Last win-loss and last points, and a true last.
Right.
And since then, I had said that you went 19-5 over the last 4, but actually since then you've gone 21-9, which was tied with probably Satch for the
Right.
best stretch. But I wanted to point out when you had it all by yourself. 21-9, yes, Satch and you over the last 5. That's 30 games. I mean, it's pretty sizable, and you can see you are virtually tied for 4th, just behind on points with Capital Knockers. You know, quite a few points behind.
Yeah.
But,
my points are gonna be low. I pulled all my starters in that last Sunday of the first weekend.
Yeah. You know,
I knew I wasn't getting any point. I was guaranteed a 0-3. Why waste the innings?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's the kind of
not
thing
a bad move.
Buddha doesn't take into account. It's not all luck. It can be by design. I did that one of the weeks I finished 6-0, and I was like, I pulled a starter. I pulled, any hitters I had going Sunday night. I'm not adventurous enough to do it like for the late games on Sunday, like the 4 o'clock games, but I'll do it for Sunday night. But it's only in select circumstances, either I'm way up the top or way down, the bottom.
Yeah, I knew it's just a 3-game period. So but I put myself in the hole points wise. That was.
No, because you'll make it up. It's better to do it when you're going to make up those points, and it could actually help your win-loss too.
Right. Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So you can see. I mean, now you are, way in the lead for lucky laggard status. You're
right.
5.6 wins. The next one is Spear with 1.2. Sombreros is the Buddha Kings. I think they were that last week too. But
trying to keep
anyways,
all my catchers innings up there. That's always a struggle. That's.
Yeah, well, I've noticed. I don't know, a couple years ago that you were a really good maximizer of your.
Oh yeah, I maximized last year.
You're not going to end with innings under. You're not going to have games played under. I mean, even at catcher, which I've just sort of given up on. Unless I stream, there's no way I'm going to.
Yeah, I try to keep that like no more than -2 as a catcher.
Yeah, that's impressive because it's hard to do. I mean, I
know all the backup catchers.
I follow it really closely, and I really try to, not have a catcher miss like a catcher game. But things happen. You do.
Right. I had a guy from Anaheim, Matt Fayes. Now is one of my guy I picked up this year. I have Keibert Ruiz, and that's another Matt Thaiss.
It's Matt Tice.
Okay.
Men and Tice.
Started the season on the bench, or what is
he actually used to qualify as a catcher.
He is a catcher.
Is he?
Yeah, that's why
he doesn't really catch a whole lot though.
Yeah,
he was a first baseman a couple years ago.
Yeah,
it's kind of nice to have a backup catcher out in California,
right?
Because you're not going to play him unless the other guys don't play, and then you just put him in.
All right.
It's not the same having like Will Smith. I mean, I want Will Smith to be in. And if it comes around where he's not starting, then I could get screwed because I should have had the backup in or something like that. But it's really last year I had he didn't do well, but he was like my backup catcher for the Angels. He's hurt now. Max Stassi.
Oh, I remember him.
So I enjoyed that last year, even though he didn't do it.
Right.
But I enjoyed that flexibility of like, I'm not going to start Stassi unless I have to. And then because his games start later, usually it was kind of nice because if Rio Muto was sitting down or whatever, then I would put Stassi in. But it doesn't work the same way with when one of your studs is out in California.
Carson Kelly was on my squad from Arizona. He
Yeah,
got
yeah,
hurt. He broke his arm or something.
Yeah, he's out for the year.
Yeah.
He was just, well, I don't know if he's out for the year, but he just got moved to the 60-day
Yeah, I
disabled
saw
list,
that.
so he's out for a while.
Yeah. He hasn't played all game. I think he got hurt after the auction. Although I had him before, I kept him from last year because it was only at $1.
Yeah.
But pretty amazing. In 4 weeks, you went from 11th to 5th and basically 4th, but 5th place.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Then,
I thought I was cutting myself out. I was gonna all sorts of offers for Mike Trout from Larkin twice, two different occasions. I've turned him down.
Yeah, he tends to he'll get some studs, like some young studs, and then he'll package like 4 or 5 guys together, go after one like he just did with Kyle Tucker. He gave up Gunnar Henderson and Sandy Alcantara and a couple of NA guys along with that. He got off take. He got Kyle Tucker this week, so not a bad move. But he's always going after those studs. He getting a lot of the guys, the young guys he gets, he's only getting those guys just to pack them together and trade them to somebody who's a little desperate for some help in the future.
I'm not happy with George Springer. He pulled off my roster from the.
How's he doing this year?
Terrible. I have him in my other league, so
What's your other league? Are you in a Roto league or?
I'm in the league that Matt McGuire's in. It's the other one, the Lemmings League. It's called.
I call that the sore loser league.
Yeah, we do everything sort of backwards. We don't have like waiver wires. It's all very much auction based, and we have 2 supplemental drafts during the year. You play the 2-week period, then you insert your lineup. So you're more of a general manager than a manager.
Right.
No, what you have to do is you got to be really good at counting what these guys did throughout the week.
No.
And then
it keeps track for you. We use this two custom formulae for the one for pitching, one for hitting. It doesn't take into account any like runs scored or RBIs or anything like that.
It's all like skill based or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Is it also like best play? Like you don't have to decide who to have up. It just gives you your best lineup for that period.
We insert, yeah. The key is to have guys covering multiple positions. You want like an infield out, like a Adam Frazier type guy is always good, or what's his name, the Royals or the Blue Jays guy that I have.
Where that guy from last year, was it the guy
like
in the Tigers?
Like a Chris Taylor from Los Angeles.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't remember that guy's name.
Whit Merrifield, that's what I was thinking of. That's like those kind of players.
There was a guy in the Tigers last year. Do you remember who he is? He qualified like 7 positions or whatever.
Yeah. And then we have there's 4 starters, 1 relief pitcher, 1 closer. So your relief pitcher can't have more than like 2 saves in the 2-week period. So
that's weird.
It's interesting. It's a different approach to it. It's league is equally as competitive as this one. There's some real ringers in it. I mean, it's tough. It's really tough to make up points throughout the year because it's just.
Yeah, I used to consider our league not. I don't know if casual would be the lowest. Where I thought like ours was like mid level, but now I think if you brought somebody in who was advanced, I don't think they'd have an easy time. I'm not saying they couldn't win, but I mean, like it's all of us have been in the league for a substantial amount of time now, and you just sort of get better.
Well, I've never won that other league. I've been in that league for 24 years now. And
oh, jeez, I didn't know.
I've never won this. I've never won any fantasy league until I won Jeff's football league 2 seasons ago.
I'm glad I could help.
I mean, I've done like fantasy.
That was a goddamn good feeling, wasn't it?
Fantasy basketball, fantasy NASCAR, you name it, fantasy college football. It's like.
It takes a league that I created to get this guy on the winning line here.
That's good.
Right. Well, you're welcome, Paul.
So yeah, the football was I was bound to win that one eventually.
I have a no money hockey league. If you guys are interested.
I might do that. Yeah.
No money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I tried doing hockey before, and I just, it gets to the point where I do baseball for most of the year and then football, and then I just need a breather. But I never really want to do hockey or basketball. I just need 3 months out of the year where I can be brain dead about this shit.
Yeah, actually, I can totally identify with that because I think all I really need is baseball and football. Because in the usual year, once I realize I'm not going to win the baseball league. I gear up for football.
Right.
And then when football's over, I'm gearing up for baseball. I mean, granted, it's like January or whatever, but that's about when I start with baseball, really, you know, in earnest. So I really only need the two. I definitely need two, but I only need the two.
I will tell you though, running a football league at the end of the baseball season kind of hurts me a little bit. It's kind of hard to do both at the same time, especially if you're running another league. Um, I mean, hello, you know, you run this league, so it's kind of tough to be competitive and run a league. This year you're doing great, but I mean, and follow it, you know, years before, I mean, it's been, you know, kind of hard for you sometimes because you're so busy doing other stuff. You're not there researching like everybody else is as much. You're more, you know, focused on getting the numbers out to us and all this other stuff. I'm sure that takes a lot of your time away.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It's running the league is during the year is really, you know, not too bad. You know, it's not too bad.
Well, here I'm going to say this too, especially during the auction. You know, when you're, you know, trying to draft your team to keep track of everything else at the same time when everybody else is just freewheeling it, and you're sitting there punching in names and all this shit, you know, um, got to take a little bit away from your draft. I mean, for years there, you would wind up with a whole bunch of extra money.
Well,
You
that
know,
I think that was just I wouldn't use the commission thing as an excuse for that. That was just ineptitude, you know. But I set up the spreadsheet now for the auction. It's really easy. I don't type in any names. I just type in two numbers, the team number and the dollar amount, and then everything else kind of um, fills in for me. So it was a lot of prep to set that up, but now during the auction, it's really not so bad.
you made it to where you've streamlined it.
Yeah, and my football league is a lot more casual than the baseball league, so it's not like, you know, I only had the football league because I'm on the waiting list for Jeff's.
You're on the waiting list. So who's else on the waiting list? How long is the waiting list, Jeff?
So
It's probably about 5 or 6 people long, to be honest with you. Yeah.
I think my football league for beer leaguers is kind of like the relegation in the Premier League, right? So it's,
our football league is pretty like it's not designed to be it, you know, it is competitive, but it's not designed to be a break your bank. I think that, you know, when you make it too expensive, like some of these leagues out there that are like, all right, it's $200 to get in, and you're paying $5 a waiver pickup and stuff like that. The nails come out, and people like this, they go after each other because it's too competitive. There's too much money on the line.
That's the league, other football league I'm in. It's a lot high. It's like 5 times as much entry fee.
Yeah, and my league is just $50.
Love it though. It's I love the
$50, and there's no keepers. There's no fucking like the last. If you wind up last the year before, doesn't mean you're going to get the first pick in a draft. It's completely drawn out of a hat. It's a complete redo every year.
mm-hmm.
And it's a big play league too. So I mean, if you're getting a run or a pass over 40 yards, you get like 4 points for that. You know, in addition to the, you know, point per 20 yards and stuff like that. You know, it's you know, it's just fun. I just try to make it fun. I don't want people fighting over shit. I don't want none of that. I've been in leagues like that, and it was like cutthroat. People are fucking going after each other in emails, and that's not what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
So that's why I do what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The reason why I don't have any keepers is because I want to keep track of that shit.
Charging for transactions it's just not the way I would go about it, because I understand it brings the kitty up, but I don't want somebody who's in 10th place out of 12 like going like, well, screw it, I'm not going to pay $5 to pick up this wide receiver. You know what I mean? Like, you know, this, I think that's the last thing you want to do. You don't want to create a disincentive for somebody to like make moves, you know?
Right.
I think, you know, that's just the way I look at it. So I guess if you have a,
you collect a lot of money at the end of the year that way too.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
that's
it's
like,
tempting, but I just
we
think
have a league where we get paid like for every win, you get $5 as well. You know, and then you also got your money for finishing first, second, third, fourth.
Better hope your commissioner's a CPA.
He was.
He was.
This league was the like one of the IT guys in my law firm where I work founded it, and his cousin. Everyone in the league's name is Patel. They're all Indian, and like there's two
That was your
divisions.
first warning.
There's two divisions. There's the Chiefs. That's all the non-Indians, and then there's the Indians division. That's all the Patels.
It should be Cowboys and Indians. You know, I bet you if it was a fantasy cricket league, they would kick your ass.
I'm sure. But I've never met any of these guys until recently. I was like 2 years ago. Like one of the guys was like the 20th year of the league, and he had a bunch of guys over his condo out in Oak Park. So
So they looked at you and they go, "Hey, you're not Indian. What the fuck?"
Patel, it must be like the name Smith or Jones multiplied by 10, because we know two people in town. We don't have a big town here, and there's two families whose last name's Patel. They're not related. I mean, it's just
right.
So it must be a very popular.
Right.
So. Hey, let's take a look at the winners and losers of the week here.
Well, I wanted to go over to. I'll go over to the glance, but so Hack is on rough times, 2 0-6 in a row. So if you look where they were before that, they were 17 and 16, right? So they're up in this area, and now they're only a game ahead of Baked and last. So
it's the curse of Gleyber Torres.
I ran the Hack on Saturday at Brent's Memorial at Green Eye. So.
Even the past 3 weeks, they're the.
I wanted to make it to that, but I had family in town, and I didn't want them to. They came in. I haven't seen them in a long time, and I didn't want to take them to something that was kind of bummed out.
Yeah, I was gonna say
4-20 in the last 4 weeks. Ouch.
Yeah. Chad? Whose memorial service was it?
Brent Young, one of the regulars from like Green Eye and Lemmings. He caught cancer and thought he was out of the woods, and then it came back with a vengeance, and it was pretty quick after the second time it came around. So it's a little upsetting for everybody around here.
He was living in Seattle the last 4 years ago.
Yeah, he married a pilot from Delta Airlines and moved out there with her, and unfortunate, the guy was about my age.
Yeah.
And he was a great guy. We used to go fishing with him all the time.
Yeah. He was in the rib cook-offs and all that shit.
Mm-hmm. Great person. Yeah. And sucks.
Went to 2 of his 3 weddings.
Not to heap it on Hack, but they're going back last 3, last 4, last 5, last 6 weeks. They have the worst record in the league. Let's see. It can't be last 7 because they. No, they're not the worst team over the last 7. So going back last 6 weeks, they're 11 and 25.
How many moves has he made this year? Check that.
Well, not too.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing is I love going through the moves here. I'll bring this up real quick and go through.
Yeah, right now, Hack has made only 26 moves. I'll see.
Yeah, he's like the Big McBrides are the lowest with 25.
Yeah.
I picked up steam. I've got 47. Paulzadi has been you got like twice as many as me, 92.
Yeah.
Paulzadi's been like that for a few seasons now. Where they're
can't beat him, join him.
You stream catchers at least, right? I don't know if you stream other places.
I know. I have like a core group of hitters. I'll never remove from my my roster, but then there's I kind of move guys in.
So you don't drop like Aaron Judge to get the outfielder in or something like that?
No.
I know you don't have Judge. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Another person that hasn't made a lot of moves is Platinum Sombreros at 27. Holy Cows at 37. And then it goes up from there. I'm at 47. Then you got Lollygaggers, only 58. He's in the lead. And he hasn't had to make many moves. But Paging Dr. Satchel, holy shit. 175. That's like 25 moves a week.
How many?
No.
Was he going in and out of his roster? I don't.
I guess maybe. Yeah, I guess it is, right? Jeez.
but I'm fourth, I guess.
Well, anyways, I'll go over glance. We already talked about sombreros is Buddha Kings with 2 wins, and Paulzadi, we know some of it by design is the lucky laggards.
Means you got lucky, Paul.
Yeah.
So games played overage and underage. McBride's has got a big underage. Spears working on a overage, league leading overage. IP overage is Knockers
Yeah, I'm second
over
on that. Boy.
over 100 over. So I'm sure that they have
That's
a plan in
75.
place that they're just going to get over, and then
I had 2 starters going today, but one was an opener, John Brebbia.
for the Giants.
Yeah, he just pitched the opening inning, and I love that. That's great.
Now, is it overage for the week or overage for the season?
That's for the season. So that's just based on, the pace.
Well,
According-
I've got plus 36 innings.
Are you? Yeah.
Yeah. So I might be the leader of the largest overage.
Plus 36 games or innings?
Oh, no. Innings. I'm sorry. I got it mistaken.
Knockers are at plus 103. Cows
Holy
minus
shit.
13, which is
He's got 103 over in innings so far this year.
yeah. Well, I mean, I can't imagine that that's sneaking up on him. I think that that's his plan. Maybe he's going to shut it down with relievers and then, add a few hitting roster spots. I don't know. I don't want to speculate, but I imagine that
It's a lot of.
he's got a plan. So
You imagine he's got a plan, but if you don't have a plan, man, that is death.
well, it's Chris we're talking about. I don't.
I know. He's got to have a plan.
So weekend Warriors.
I can't believe somebody's over 100 innings already so far in the season.
On Memorial Day.
I know. I don't think that's ever happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm
don't
like
think that's
50
ever
over.
happened.
I think I'm like 50 over, and I've already started to try to move some starters out of there.
I'm gonna start cutting back soon.
I'm plus 57. So there's a lot of guys over. Our innings pitched.
Let's play. You got to watch out for him. He's right at the line there, and holy cows too.
So
Well, I could drop 36 innings and no problem. I mean, it's like all I have to do is just stop streaming pitchers for a little bit because you know what? It doesn't work for me anyway. I throw them in there and they fucking just tank on me, and then it fucks my week up.
So we see
the only reason I've been successful is the picking up pitchers on the waiver wire.
Picking up the right ones. I'm picking up the wrong ones.
You know what? I'm just looking at matchups. That's all. Just like seeing who they're pitching against. If it's what the ballpark's like.
Keep going. I'll be right back. I forgot my lead.
All right, we can see hitting BABIP. Hack is up on top, and just vacated Jeff is trailing in BABIP, and I actually he went down. Usually these numbers will converge on the more the season goes on, but he went from 289 2 weeks ago to 288 last week. Now he's at 280 BABIP. So I don't think the daddies have been having a very fortunate set of luck here. Jeff, I was just saying that 2 weeks ago you were at 289 BABIP. Last week 288, and now you're at 280. This is season long stats. It's not for the week. And usually this time of year you'd be getting closer to the mean. From an extreme to. So it's a little odd, and I would imagine that your luck will reverse.
You would hope, and I would hope. We'll see though.
The other part of it is that you're the new leaders in highest ERA minus FIP, which means your ERA is 0.37 runs higher than your fielding independent pitching. So that's also a little unlucky. We can see Paulzadi is the luckiest ERA minus FIP.
Yeah, like I said, this last week, as far as pitching goes, actually really blew chunks. It was terrible. And no matter what I tried to do, hit me right in the fucking ass.
These numbers are based on what, you got 14 hitting spots, you got 10 pitching spots. So that the individual factor of a hitter that has a high BABIP, that would be negated by the fact that we're looking at 14 spots as opposed to one guy. But still, as I keep pointing out, and I think it's getting tiresome to point it out, I think everybody gets it, that these numbers, it doesn't mean that Hack is it's not 100% certainty that Hack is lucky at 323 and Daddies are unlucky at 280, but probably, and at least to some degree, probably, yeah. Same thing down here.
I actually had a pretty good week with relief pitchers and saves and holds and stuff like that, but my starters they were just absolutely awful all fucking week. I mean, guys that normally get 18 to 20 points a start were getting like 3. It was just one bad start after another, bad matchups, and yeah, what a kick in the balls.
So players of the week.
I never had 3 players of the week ever, it seems. Maybe I had one last week.
Daddy's had Wilson Contreras. He's back, welcomed back with open arms in St. Louis when they realized what the hell are we doing? You know what I mean? I don't know. And then I pointed out in the email that Knockers had 2 players of the week, and so did McBride. So Knockers had Morel and Aaron Judge.
I tell you what, Christopher Morel, I had him last season. I could have put him on for a buck. The Cubs picked up so many damn players. I knew he was going to go to the minors. I should have fucking kept him anyway and just kept him on the NA until he came up. But this dude has got a home run per 6 at bats since coming up. So he's got to cool off. Nobody ever sustains that.
I would think so, yeah. Because Babe Ruth and Ralph Kiner had 1 homer every 10 at bats. So
yeah, he ain't that.
McBride's had Gorman and Waka. Michael Waka, the pitcher that nobody wanted this offseason, right. I guess because he was demanding 2 years.
Oh, Lance Lynn.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
Everybody was talking about he should be DFA'd or some shit, I mean. But let's talk about Aaron Judge. Did you see the video earlier this week of him kind of peeking over to the dugout?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
He's cheating his ass off. They've got the Yankees are still at it. They're still cheating their asses off. They got kind of busted around the same time as Houston did and the Boston Red Sox. And, New York didn't get their hands smacked so much, but they were doing the same shit. They're still doing it. I mean, they sent Diego German out there, and he, or is it Domingo or Diego? I think it's Domingo. Anyway, they got a guy suspended, one of their pitchers suspended for using the sticky stuff. You're not supposed to use that shit. Everybody knows it. All right, still using it. And then you got
I had 2 guys
Judge
on my team this year.
Peeking off to the dugout. And then all of a sudden, after he peeks over the dugout, he knows what pitch is coming in and just drills it out of the park. So it's like, you know what? If you were that goddamn good, you wouldn't need that help. Simple as that. Sorry. Okay, I'm done. I get off my soapbox. It was Irish Spring anyway.
So just looking at these rate stats. So Paulzadi's hitting doesn't look too good.
No.
But oddly enough, you've got the lowest strikeout percentage for hitters. So, but also the lowest walk percentage. It's very odd. That's an odd combo. Your team is weird. Your hitters are weird.
I know. Well, I got that one center fielder for the A's, Estuary Ruiz.
Yeah.
He's actually.
I had him for a little bit. He's got the most stolen bases in the league right now.
Yeah, I'm just going to hold on to this guy for the
I had him for a little bit and I dropped him. He only qualifies as center field, so it's kind of hard to work with that.
Yeah, you're number 1 in stolen bases.
Yeah,
that's relatively new. I didn't notice that before.
I used to be.
And
till Nico Horner got hurt.
Your ERA is 6th, and your FIP is 9th. Your WHIP is 7th. So over here, it looks like your save percentage is number 1. So you haven't had many blown saves.
I don't have.
Yeah, you're number 1 in save percentage.
Completely new relievers this year too. I had like the same three guys for the last couple of years, and I replaced them all.
Yeah.
No, you did the right thing.
85% save percentage. And,
ooh, Capital Knocker's got a 50% save rate. Yeah, he's playing Russian roulette every time he throws those fucking guys in there.
Yeah.
Are they going to do it or are they going to get nailed?
Yeah, he's trailing. It's 8%.
Couldn't have traded Hader, huh?
Let's see. Check out Dads real quick.
Oh boy.
Dads are 10th in runs per game. That's the linear weights based.
Yeah, I look like shit across the board. My pitching is mediocre. My hitting sucks.
Yeah, your worst ERA and worst in FIP. So, but
But I got a first baseman who's got the most home runs since 2019.
so, anyways,
Juan Soto, he ain't worth $100 anymore. He's just not.
so I wanted to show this predicted final standings. Probably this will be the last week that the Jaggers will still be on top in that measure. But you can see what this does is if you have a big IP overage, it's like knockers do, it's going to knock you down a little bit.
Right.
It's going to even out the Buddha. I mean, it's going to assume that you're going to have an even luck Buddha the rest of the year. And like we talked about before, not all of the Buddha standings is based on luck. For instance, when Paul pulled those guys in week 1 because he was going to go 0-3 anyway, he'll be hurt on this measure for doing that, but obviously it's a smart thing to do. And like, you don't want to go 6-0 by 125 points either. You know, like if you've got a pitcher, 2 hitters going on Sunday night, and you should pull them. You know?
Right. I wasn't even sure this past Sunday. I didn't realize it was that close. It was like what 4 points separating
So
the 6-0.
Oh, you're slowly disappearing on us.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, when we first started doing it, I knew it was
barely.
the sun
It's
was
getting
down
dark
later and
behind
later.
you, so
yeah,
it's
my light out here doesn't work anymore. The electricity went off.
All right, I think I'm all done with the standings, so I'm just gonna get out of here.
No, oh yeah, you can barely see.
Let's see Paul before he
you need some
fades
front
into
lighting.
darkness.
You got those? Remember those little balls you used to bring
I
out?
do have those balls.
lanterns?
Yeah, they're not charged up though.
Ah,
Oh. It's
put a
ruining
candle.
your top rated podcast.
Your wife has got to have a candle around somewhere, right?
I can find a candle. Hold on, I'll get something.
All right, there you go, Ichabod Crane. Go find a candle.
That's nice though. I was looking, I thought that you might do this like when it's especially like in another month, when it's really getting dark late, like you might do it from your backyard.
I'd have to do it half and half unless I gotta run an extension cord because this battery will not last 2 hours on my by itself. No, this is not charging.
Ooh, look at that. Citronella?
No, just plastic electric candles.
So I was looking at the league history, Paul. You joined in 2010.
Right.
And I couldn't remember. I thought maybe you replaced somebody, but you didn't. It looks like we just
I did replace. No, I replaced Matt McGuire.
Oh,
I inherited his game.
I thought we just expanded when you came in.
No, I took over his team.
So 2010. So there should be somebody in 2009 that didn't play again. Unless this is all screwed up. Oh, no, I don't have the non-active members up here. Oh, I'm not even sharing this, so you don't know what I'm talking about. Wait a second. Okay.
Oh, I think you're gonna need like amount of candles that you saw in the King of Pain video from the Police back in the day in order for us to see your face.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Paul. This is Paul's line. This is his first year in the league.
Where are we?
But I read it wrong. Okay, I only have active members up here, so Matt's down here in the inactive city. So we had, well, actually, we could do it like this.
Paul, you started in 2010. You've been in the league. This is your 14th
year.
Wow.
It's 14th year, yeah. Wow, that's.
I want you guys to pay close attention to 2008 and 2015.
Look at that. Jeff's first year, 2007, and then boom, 2008.
Wow.
And I took over. Whose team did I take over?
You did win it.
I took over.
So you've got twice. You
I think I
got 2
took over
wins.
Tracy's team. Yeah, I got it twice. I won twice.
Yeah, Tracy got pissed off because even though it was written in the rules that the standings were based secondarily on points, he got pissed. He didn't like this.
So he quit?
Yeah, he did. He did. He was only in for 1 year, I guess, right?
1 year, wow.
But he was brought in through Eric Neffenegger. And I think Eric dropped out that year too, after that year, 2006.
He got pissed off for Tracy.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. This was the Bremerski year, so all we had, the records we had was that Norm won. Because Bremerski won, but luckily we shared commish duties, and my duties was the money. So I decided there's no way I'm going to give him the first place money in this. So Norm had actually finished second, and he won. He got first place. But we have
And
no
then
record.
Bremerski was kicked out.
Yeah, we have no record. So 2005, we did it at the Underbar during Chad's shift, and we drafted from scratch. We had the auction from scratch. So we had 9 teams, 270 players. So it was.
If
It's
you
just
look at
fun
that in
doing.
2005 to 2006, Chris went from worst to first.
This was the year that Chris must have been not at the auction.
Oh, that was yeah.
Yeah,
That
where he
makes
just had his
sense.
4 matches. So that's the year that he finished last. So that's why it's unusual. But look, at 2007 was a normal year, and he didn't have a good year. So it does happen. It does happen with Chris. Just
Doesn't
not
happen
too
very often.
But
He's got 1, 2, 3 there, 4, 5. Where was his 6th one? Was that before 2004, or was it like 2014 there that we're getting cut off on?
all right. Well, Chris came in. I've got this grid here. Chris came in 96. He's won 6 times. So you can see Paul's been in since 2010. So only 2 guys are newer than Paul, unless you count Sean, whose first year was 91, but then he missed a bunch of years, right? 16, 17 years.
Wow, that's
So
I've had only 6 money finishes in 16 years, man. That's pretty pathetic.
well, the average would be in a 12-team league would be 1/3. I guess some of the years you were in, there was only 10 teams, but
Yeah, 1/3. Okay, I guess it's not that bad. Just not up to my par.
But you can see I kept track of this too, the draft auction locations. So you can see.
Oh, no
was,
shit. You're giving people my address now.
My boarding house in DeKalb, my next boarding house in DeKalb, my apartment in Forest Park for 3 seasons. And then we went to Wrigleyville Tap for 2 years.
Black Beetle?
Black Beetle for looks like 4 seasons. No, this is wrong because the 1 year I wasn't in it, Sean remembered that we had it at Bremerski's place, but I wasn't in a league that year. That was like 2000. So it was only at Black Beetle for 3 years. I'll try to correct that. And then we went to Hottie Biscotti for 2 years. This is all before your time.
Hey, Biscotti, where the fuck was that at?
It was up north. I don't know, like Lawrence. I don't. It's not really on Lawrence, but it's up in that area, I think.
Oh, okay, probably maybe on Irving Park.
And then, well, the Underbar, like I just said, and then here we go, 2006.
Lemmings for a long time.
So the first year we had it was right before I moved from Illinois. So the first year we had it at Lemmings, I was an Illinois resident, and then I came in as a visitor. Then we had it at Dave Clark's for 2 seasons, and then D-Men for 3.
Yep.
And then we had it on the computer.
Oh, right.
Different locations.
Computer.
And then 2023, we had it at Jeff's.
I saw DC at on Saturday as well. So.
Did you really? How's he doing?
He's doing good. Yeah. Can't drink at all, so he's not there.
Does he have to wait to a certain period to drink?
Yeah, she said like not until like in the summer of September. I guess he's on quite a medication, so.
But he had the surgery and everything was good?
Yeah, I went fine. Yeah.
That's good.
Back at work.
Oh, that's good.
God, I mean, it's like Now we're gonna start talking about medical shit. You know, we're all damn near 50 or over 50.
Right.
Some of us pushing close to 60. But now we're just that, you know, it's funny. We always like back in the day looked at other older guys and they're always talking about ailments and shit. When you're at your family's house, the old people are talking about like what ails them and stuff all the time. At least my family anyway. And yeah, that's what we get to look forward to. Talking about our diverticulitis and the gout and all that shit.
The gout. I don't get the gout anymore. I take medication for it. So.
Yeah, good. I wasn't pinpointing
My
you
gout, my first
specifically.
gout
I just threw it out there.
was 2010, coincided with my joining the league. Only time I had gout.
Probably
I don't.
related, right?
What does that feel like?
Like your foot's being crushed at all times. It's not like worse than a broken foot because it doesn't have to put, you don't have to put pressure on it. It just hurts. It just throbs.
Oh, it just throbs.
Feel like there's like shards of glass in your joint. Shut up.
Oh, that sucks.
Dogs, man.
Note to self: don't get the gout.
Yeah. So I don't eat organ meat anymore. That's the one thing that
Or are you just eating a lot of liver or something?
I was eating like charcuterie board type stuff, like pates and things like that. But I noticed if I ever eat like crab legs or lobster, I could feel my like ankles starting to swell up a little bit. And
Oh, geez.
yeah, but
You know, when I
not
eat corn on the cob with a lot of salt, I feel my lips swell up. You ever get that?
oh,
Yeah, that's weird.
yeah.
Well, I brought the hitters up. You guys see it, right?
All
Yeah.
right. Well, let's let Luke get back to this.
Oh, I'm just getting the nuts and bolts out of the way, so. But,
Acuna, man. Wow.
Acuna is on top, big time. See if Sombrero's anybody else. So it looks like about it. Semien for the gags. Yandy Diaz. Spears got Freddie Freeman, and that's it for there. And Satch, Matt Olson, and Rafael Devers. No surprises. The pride of the daddies, Dolis Garcia, and of course Pete Alonso.
Between those two guys, I got 31 home runs. How am I not doing better?
Well, it's not the NBA, right? You got big rosters, right? So
Yeah. My big three don't work well with each other, apparently.
knockers have a Rosarena. Satch has, I missed the Goldschmidt. So Satch got Olson, Goldschmidt, and Devers. So yeah, we talked about that before, how they're all set at their first, third, and corner position. So don't even make an offer. They're all set. Let's Play's got Cedric Mullins. And
That guy's a good ball player, man.
And Otani the hitter.
And you know what? Look at both those players too. He's pigeonholed into using him. Like he can only use Cedric Mullins at the two outfield spots in center field. He can only use Shohei Otani at utility.
But if they produce like this, you don't mind,
I know, right? But it's just like, man, he's that's pretty crazy.
Bets have the cows. I mean, the cows have the bets. The cows have bets. There we go.
Mookie Mook.
So I'm gonna stop that, right? Okay.
Where was Bizzotti's first guy?
Hitters.
Somebody's got to be. He's got to be right outside.
Let's see, I'll scroll down. I know I stopped the share. Alex Verdugo is the top Bizzotti hitter.
Really?
What number is he at?
He's down toward. He's probably about 20th on here.
Okay, so he's top 25.
He's exactly 21st. 21st. All right, and I'll switch it over to pitchers. Switch it over to pitchers. Yeah, and you're right, Jeff. You mentioned last week, like we can look at different periods as the season goes on. We could look at like the last 30 days as opposed to just looking at the season leaders all the time.
Oh yeah, you know who the ones that are hot right now.
Here's the pitchers. You see it?
No.
So you got 3 guys tied for the top point total at 181. McClanahan, where we got? So everybody's got 10 starts. I don't know why McClanahan gets the nod here, but because he did it in less.
Because he's got less innings pitched.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So McClanahan, it was McBride's one of their chief targets. when they weren't at the auction. Well, it's looking pretty good that they got him. And daddies have Steele and Gallon fell with that one bad start.
Yeah, it was rough.
And Shohei, the pitcher's on here too. So Shohei's on the top hitter page and top half of the pitcher page too.
Yeah, I mean he's 50 at pitcher and he's like 12 at fucking hitter. It's like that's
where's my top
ridiculous.
pitcher? I have somebody on.
What'd you say?
Who's my top pitcher here? Anybody else?
Let's see. Might have to scroll down. Oh, we got Alex Cobb.
Alex Cobb, right.
Alex Cobb, top
he was-
pitcher for Paulzadi.
Alex Cornon, the Cobb.
Right.
So we got. What else we got here?
And then your next guy after that would be
So
John Gray.
John Gray, right?
Yeah, he's at 114.
I watched one of his last starts. He must have threw a no-hitter.
And then Kyle Freeland's doing it for you too. You picked him up off the waiver wire. That's I remember I think I had a start with him this year, maybe.
So Hack is Garrett Cole, who's tied for the top spot now after having the top spot to himself for most of the year. And Cows have Framber, Mitch Keller, and Clayton Kershaw, who's NA on the bereavement list. And I know he didn't have a very good start last
Let's speak about that. He's on the bereavement list, but then you got Walker Buehler, who's going to come back in probably September, is what they're talking about. Then you got Dustin May, who just went down. He's out 4 to 6 weeks with a flexor pronator strain, so I think that's your taint. And then they've got Pepiote, who's out, who came up. So these guys just officially brought up Bobby Miller, and he is already on Let's Play.
Miller's good. I mean, we'll see what he does. But I know the other guy, Stone, is getting hit around a little bit tonight, isn't he? I think I saw that.
Very possible. I mean, it's just that right now the Dodgers are going to take a back seat for a little bit because their pitching is all fucked up. What they thought was going to be a good pitching staff. Oh, and Urias. Urias is on the 15-day disabled list with a left hamstring issue.
So they'll probably be okay as long as they get half of those guys back, right?
Well,
I mean,
their pitching staff is going to look like this. It's going to be Kershaw with most of what you had in AAA until these guys start filtering back in.
they could afford to have like Miller in the rotation. Probably it's tougher to have.
Depends on how he does. He's a rookie, though. I mean, sometimes these rookie pitchers, it takes a little while for them to get adjusted or just mellow out. There's not too many of them that come in and just burn the goddamn burn the season up. It's the special ones do, but not many.
I mean, I'm sure they weren't. I'm sure they weren't preparing for May. Well, Kershaw because he's on bereavement, Urias, all those guys being on at the same time. Because I think you can design it where let's bring up Pepio or Miller or the Stone guy, and one of those guys will be all right for a fifth spot. But right now they're being, stretched too thin. But I don't know. I think they'll be okay. I think Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring up the prediction. Since we're all in the prediction pool, I wanted to look at that. That's what I forgot. But anyways, I'll get out of this, and then we can just talk like regular human beings. Knockers have Joe Ryan, and Gags have Evaldi. And then Hack's got Garrett Cole and also George Kirby. That's right. Yeah,
George Kirby came out of nowhere.
He's pitching really well. He was pretty highly touted, though. So
yeah,
he's not out of nowhere.
I mean, how old is he?
Seattle. Yeah,
I don't know. Eduardo for Spear.
Yeah, he's I think Eduardo's fallen just a couple slots, but that's no big deal.
And then Satchel's got Logan Webb. That's their only top half-page pitcher, I think. So, anyways, all right, I'm going to stop that.
Well, I've got 3 fucking pitchers here, all right on screen, and I've got 2 hitters on the other one with 31 home runs between the 2 of them. And the only reason why I don't have 3 on that front page is because Nico Horner got hurt because he was hot. And how the
Yeah.
fuck am I in eighth place?
You got like a stars and scrubs thing going on. I don't know.
No, what it is I
Yeah.
keep getting big negatives from some pitching once in a
Yeah.
while. And it just takes me back. When you get minus 19, the guy could have got 19. It's like minus 38 for that matter. Crazy. I'm not bitter.
Well, Jeff, do you want to
Oh,
go?
you know what? While you're doing that, let me talk really quick about some injuries and moves.
Yeah, perfect.
Blowing through it, Hunter Dozier, DFA'd. Looks like the KC is done with him.
Yeah. I like
Clevenger on the 15-day disabled list with some wrist inflammation.
who
Buxton, knee soreness. He's being evaluated, so keep an eye on that, Mr. Let's Play.
who was the wrist guy?
Garrett Whitlock going to be activated before Saturday. What's that?
Who was the wrist inflammation guy? Second guy you
The wrist was Clevenger.
Clevenger. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, Clevenger was on the 15-day with a wrist inflammation. And then Buxton has knee soreness being evaluated. Whitlock to be activated Saturday. McCullers and Urquidy for Houston both should be coming back around the All-Star break. Orioles activated Michael Givens, and the Knockers quickly picked him up. Luis Severino's been activated, so he's back in the game. Jared Walsh has been activated. He's back in the game for the Angels. Ryan Tepera from the Angels has been DFA'd, so he might be looking for a new team. Jorge Polanco, 10-day left hammy. Tyler Glasnow looks like he's going to get one more rehab start before they bring him back. And then the Cubs DFA Hosmer. And Cody Bellinger is put on the 10-day with a knee issue. So Eric Hosmer, we barely knew you, but we saw it coming. Looks like your Mets are going to get Quintana back soon. He's going to start a throwing program. Manny Machado's on the 10-day with a wrist fracture. Small, though. It's really
Quintana
small.
could be like even July or something, unless they really stepped it up. That was the original time for him.
Yeah. And then Wade Miley, he's out 6 to 8 weeks for a posterior sternatus strain. So he broke his butt crack.
I thought it was just just general depression since the lollygaggers dropped him, and he had done well, so I felt
For
bad
a
about
couple
those.
starts.
I figured if Satch could drop Trace Thompson after he hit 3 homers, the next Satch dropped him. I figured I could drop Wade Miley,
I think I picked him up after you dropped him. Gary Sanchez called up by the Mets. So you get sloppy seconds on that New York catcher.
They've got 2 injured catchers that are coming back, so good luck.
Yeah, he won't be up for long or get traded or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they've got Nito who just can't hit now, and I was always a proponent of him because he's a good, defensive catcher, but he's so bad hitting, at least the way it looks now, that he's like kind of unplayable.
Yeah.
And the young guy Alvarez has looked okay at catcher. I remember when players like Alonso and McNeil came up, they were supposed to be bad fielders, and Alonso's not a bad first baseman. I'm not going to say he's a Gold Glover.
No.
And McNeil's a good fielder. So sometimes this reputation, the fielding reputation, you have to see the guy, because Alvarez, to my eyes, to anybody's eyes, looks fine. You know what I mean? Like, even if he's doesn't develop into an above average catcher, right now he seems to me like he's going to be at least an average catcher. I don't see him as being even deficient. So
Yeah.
I think when all these guys come back, Narvaez, I think Alvarez is going to play, 5 days a week or whatever. So,
Well, talking from one former Yankee like Gary Sanchez, I got another one here. Miguel Andujar, DFA'd by the Pirates. How bad do you have to be to get DFA'd by the Pirates?
That stings.
Maybe
the Royals will pick him up.
He was super touted for a while and just like,
maybe the Royals will pick him up, take Dozier's place.
Yeah, the minute they got like Gleyber Torres, he just like took a shit. He got hurt, and then he never came back to normal.
Andujar could definitely fill Dozier's shoes. What do you need? Like 630 OPS or whatever.
Maybe they can go to DFA land together. Altuve is back. And then another Yankee, Trevino. He's on the 10-day with a hammy.
Who has Altuve? Is that Knockers? No,
That is the knockers.
it is.
Nick Lodolo for Cincinnati, stress fracture and a tibia. He's out a month. Kumar Rocker, Tommy John surgery.
You know, the Mets drafted him in the first round, right?
I know. Isn't he on
Then-
Texas now?
Then he failed the medicals and they, didn't sign him.
Yeah, he could have got this done a long fucking time ago.
They looked
I don't
like
know.
fools because, they wasted a first round pick, but actually they got a supplemental first round pick in the next year. So it's not as bad as it seemed to me that, after that, I was like, Jesus Christ, really? But maybe they did. I don't know if what they saw in the medicals is anything to do with his injury right now, but it looks better now for them, for the Mets.
Yeah. Remember Anibal Sanchez?
Of course.
He retired today, officially. And then the A's, Mason Miller, their 100-mile-an-hour pitching prospect who was throwing smoke. He has been shut down with a mild UCL sprain, and that just smells Tommy John coming up.
Hmm.
And speaking of the A's, their broadcaster was officially fired today. That wasn't a shock.
Yeah.
I hate to sound naive, but wasn't it just a slip of the tongue, or do you really think he, by design, said that?
I don't think he said it by design.
I think it was subconscious.
Subconscious.
It could have been.
Yeah, who knows? I'm sure. Yeah, I mean,
He had just visited the
you
Negro
just don't slip your
Museum.
tongue to say that. It's like,
I know the curator of that museum, if that's what you call it, defended him. So there's no way that he was doing anything out of malice. You know what I mean?
No, that was just one of those, and then if you're talking and the slip of the tongue can be the end of your career. God, talking about being nervous behind the mic.
Yeah.
If it and I to be honest, do I think he said it on purpose? No, of course not. I mean, who would do that?
I think if he didn't say it on purpose, and if most people would agree with that, then he shouldn't lose his job.
Yeah.
My
thing was like Dallas Braden next to him, fucking going, yep, yeah.
Well, he
feel like he didn't hear it at all.
He said, that he didn't hear it because
I was gonna say,
when you're on air, and somebody else is talking, there's producers or whatever talking in your ear. You don't hear everything.
If I would have heard that, my eyes probably would have got a little big.
There's gonna be 50 people are gonna miss that guy announcing the A's games. So.
No, nobody's watching anyway. Good point. Very good point. And then they might hire him back in Las Vegas. You never know.
That's the worst stadium. Have you ever been to Oakland Coliseum?
I have been there. Yeah, I was there.
It's so bad.
It looks it's concrete.
It's so far away from the field because there's so much foul territory.
I was there in 1980, and I'm sure that's before they did the Raiders edition, right?
I was there in 2000 for saw a White Sox game there.
Yeah, I mean everything I see, like those little tours of that ballpark and stuff.
It was all metal
so
benches,
dated.
and it was metal. Everything was metal. There was I don't know.
Well, who owns the ballpark? Is it the ball club that owns the ballpark, or is it the city? Is it the city? Are they paying rent to the city? Is it considered a city park?
No.
Kind of like how Soldier Field and the Bears. Because it's like, you know what, fucking how dare you fucking ask the goddamn city for a new ballpark and have them pay for it.
Or it's Associate Coliseum at one point, but that was
yeah.
That week we went to we were out in San Fran for a week, and I saw a game at Candlestick too. So I got to see a game at both.
Right.
Candlestick was, we were there, and
I never made it.
It had to be July or August anyway, and it was windy. It was windy and cold. It was sunny. It was a day game, but well, you know what that's sort of like from Wrigley, maybe.
Right.
A sharp wind coming off the lake, even when it's sunny. It was a tough place to play. I think I think my impression was that Oakland wasn't so bad, but that was before
Right.
they altered it. And San Fran was definitely. I mean, it was fun. I enjoy quirky, awful stadiums. But that was pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So,
There's a
Paul,
ghost in my room.
I was going to ask you, what are you drinking? Looked like you were drinking something interesting. Didn't look like a Coors Light or something.
No, it's a Iyengar Pils from Germany, I guess.
Ah.
Yeah, very, very nice.
Yeah.
So what's
before that I was having a Green River. So
what's the most normal beer that you drink?
High Life. I like High Life.
High Life.
I always have
yeah.
High Life.
I had that at Lemmings, and I hadn't had it for
it
has to be a few years anyway.
I like old style too. Bar. If I'm in for the long haul at Lemmings for like a whole day of drinking, I'll drink just pints of old style because I can drink probably 20 of them and still be somewhat functional. So
why do you think I drink Shinerbach? I mean, it's got a little bit more flavor than old style, but it's still like 4.5%.
I still have 3 of your Shinerbachs from Wild Card Saturday. Jeff.
Oh, those will be tasting great next year.
Let's save them for next year.
You just don't want to drink them? What's wrong?
I don't like them. I don't like them.
That is your big.
He doesn't like the maltiness.
That's your big entertainment dating.
Yeah.
Show, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, when we go to Taste of Polonia, bring them with you. There's got to be something good planned.
No. We're having a big party. We're having a big party this summer it's our 20th year in our house here. So
no kidding.
Since we bought the house, yeah.
Nice.
In August, we'll have a big party.
Cool. Just don't do it on Labor Day weekend where it's Taste of Polonia.
Like August 12th or something.
That's always a good time.
Yeah.
So I asked. I know that your first year in the league was 2010. Oh, I should let you drink. I'll ask Jeff something. I don't. But so how did you get in the league? Did you were you asked to join? Did Matt say?
Yeah, I think Larkin and Jeff approached me, and then I knew Matt wasn't interested. It was too much work for Matt to keep up with that.
Yeah. He was so used to the one thing that he just didn't really want to grasp another completely different. Yeah. His heart was with the other league that he's been in with for 20 years.
Yeah, the other one I've been with him. Yeah.
Right.
I prefer this league. I'll be honest with you. I love this league. I think it's great. From the beginning of February to October, that's all I think about is.
Yeah.
I mean, it does consume me. So, and I think
it consumes us all.
Since the pandemic and there's no one around my office anymore, I can get online. There's a bunch of day games going on.
That's why he's doing so well. That's the 6-0 this week.
I'm sure I could do it, but I have not been in a different baseball league. It's got to be 20 years since I've had more than one baseball league that I was in. And I guess I could handle it, but I just really don't want to. It does consume me, and I like it that maybe it doesn't take 24 hours in a day for me to be in the beer league too. I mean, I don't want more time devoted necessarily, but yeah, as far as what I care about, I mean, I don't know. I guess if I was going to do another league, I would get in a rotisserie league because it's so different with the categories. And stuff like that. It's more complicated. But then I was like, I don't want to do that. I like it just the way it is here. I can handle this.
Well, how about Toronto the other day that their manager accidentally forced out their starter because he went to the mound too many times?
Yeah. Well, the pitching coach came in, and then he visited the mound, and then by rule, Manoah had to come out of the game. So then on MLB Now, which I tape every day, so I say that I saw it tonight, but it's actually a day show. Joe Madden was on, and he was kind of complaining. He's like, couldn't the ump alert the guy hey, you've already had the mound visit, so you're gonna have to take him out. And then
they probably did that in the first 3 weeks of the season just to fucking help him out. But then you can't do that all season. You got to know that by then.
To Madden's credit, Brian Kenny changed his mind because he said okay, so the umps have to keep track of how many step offs there are and how many all that stuff. And then Joe Madden said something okay, retracted. I think you're right. I mean, like I think that the umps this year especially have enough to think about, as opposed to
Oh, with the pitch clock
without
and that
having to manage the
batter.
manager, right? The manager should, know that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
and you don't want to create a precedent like, well, the umpires should have stopped them. If it's really, if you're going to do something, I mean, who am I to tell you? What if I said, hey, Jeff, you shouldn't go out to the mound now because he's like, what? I'm taking him out. I don't know. Like, it'd be like, screw you. Let me do my job. Like,
Well, here, let's think about this too. I mean, you know how there's like a bunch of stuff that's plugged out there in the press and stuff that just, puff pieces to make people think a certain way. Angel Hernandez, he basically was one time behind the plate, didn't ump very long this year, and then they say it's a bad back. But do you think maybe it could possibly be that he just didn't want to do this system and, you know,
oh, definitely. They had a lot of retiring, umps last year because if I'd been in the league for 23 years and they're going to do all this new stuff, I'd be like, I think I'll just get out now.
it's like, oh, my back, I got one more year to retirement. My back, I can't do it this year, but it still counts. And now I retire.
You know what I
I can
don't know?
only,
Do you
I
guys
can
know?
only hope.
I don't know how much umpires make. Do you know how much they make?
Oh God, no, I don't. But you probably got to figure it's got to be six figures at least.
I'm gonna look it up. I mean, not right now, but I mean, because I really don't know that.
I'll look it up right now. Fuck it. Oh, Google.
There's
What
an umpire shortage in the
does a
schools and like youth leagues. They're saying it's bad parents.
But they should consider paying the good umpires more than they do, probably. Because it's important. A good ball and strike umpire. I mean, it's not easy. I
All
don't
right.
think it's easy to do. And there are guys that are good at it.
For the 2022 season, the average salary for a major league umpire was $235,000 a year.
No, that's more than I thought.
That's good. That's the average.
That's more than I thought.
Yeah. Officials in the NFL make 190,000. Referees
they're
in
only doing 16 games. Supposed to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Referees in the MLS make only about 40,000 on average
for a whole year.
That's the MLS. That's Major League Soccer.
I'm sure it doesn't say it
referees
on
only
there,
make
but those
40,000 a year.
NFL refs, do they fly? Are they their flights are paid for and their
Oh,
accommodations?
sure. Yeah. All that shit's taken care of. They probably get a per diem on top of it.
Because you could be an NFL ref and have a full-time job, right? And you could still do it.
Yep. And they say NBA referees can average nearly $5,000 per game.
And I was making
$5,000
$20 a game.
Well,
I think it was 2
games.
games.
82 games a year.
I think I got $20 for 2 games. I don't know, but that was 1989. So I figured I did the CPI calculator, and that'd be like 49 smackers nowadays.
So what NBA officials make is about $410,000 a year.
Who?
NBA.
NBA.
Yeah.
410.
Yep.
So that's more than I thought. So
yeah, it's a lot more than I thought.
Yeah. Look at all that money.
You're going maybe about 120.
All that money for fixing all those games too. It's great.
I know. Think about all the money they make off that.
But I mean, it's smart because those guys should be good. Now they should do it. I don't know how they do it, but it should be merit based. Maybe with all these different measures now they have for the umps, we can get like the good guys in there and get the bad guys out. And also maybe not like I think we talked about it last week or whatever. Like, why do you have to rotate so much? I mean, I understand maybe a guy can't do every game behind the plate because he's going to burn out, but like you could rotate. He could do every other game or something. There's no reason that there's 4 guys in the crew and then they all have to rotate behind the plate. What if one of those guys or 2 of those guys just suck? Like, I mean, you are a third base umpire, and when you prove that you're better behind the plate, then you'll have more games behind the plate. Why isn't it like that more?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look.
I tell you what, if they go over to this seeing eye fucking strike zone, you know, where they got the sensors and shit, and they know if the ball goes through the zone actually, it's really going to expose a lot of these guys for really being bad.
I guess I still don't get. I
That's
mean,
why they don't want it.
I don't
They're
have.
not perfect. They're not going to be perfect, but you can't suck
I
badly. Like, you
understand how
know,
they could do the width of the strike zone in,
Yeah, right.
strike or
Yeah,
outside. How do you do the
it's
height?
constant.
How do you do the height? Like is it that advanced that they have like a laser of the guy's knees and his chest? I mean, like, how do you?
they could put sensors on the fucking uniform where the
Just gonna put
fucking
a lawn chair behind the home plate.
Are the players going to wear like like sensors on their nipples or something?
yeah, it's gonna look like they're playing
Kneecaps or
laser
something?
tag.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna take off here after your hot cat. I gotta past my bedtime.
Well, you got to
Yeah,
work.
we're getting
gotta work
towards
for
the
a
end of
living?
it anyway, man.
I get up early.
I've run out of things to talk about, really. The only other thing I was going to bring up was how the Cardinals have turned it around, and now they're whooping ass.
You know what?
Good.
Before you go, I'm just going to bring this up really quick. Um, our little prediction pool,
Oh, right.
which you were part of.
I, I hate to see that.
You can see how we're looking so far.
Oh,
So the consensus
White
was
Sox. That was stupid. All right. Oh,
Yankees or Toronto winning the division, and then wild card was equally Yankees or Toronto. Cleveland
Well, I
in the
didn't even
Central.
have Tampa Bay in there at all. What was I fucking thinking?
Yeah, I guess these are sort of boring. I mean, because Cleveland Central, Houston in the West, the other two wild cards, Tampa and the White Sox.
yeah.
This is the consensus. This should be the smartest of the compared to the four of us. Atlanta in the East, that looks good. St. Louis in the Central, it could still happen. I wouldn't bet against it.
At Milwaukee.
And then NL West, Dodgers or San Diego, that was evenly split. Obviously, the other team would be a wild card. Mets, a wild card, and then Philly or Milwaukee as a wild card. We couldn't. That was equal. So Paul went with Yankees, Sox, Houston. So only consensus.
I did the same damn thing. Look at me.
Only pick against the consensus was the White Sox.
But
Toronto,
I did it as a wild card.
Toronto, Tampa, Minnesota. So Paul had Minnesota as a wild card. Atlanta, Milwaukee winning the Central. Dodgers, which is half of the consensus. Mets is a wild card. San Diego a wild card, and San Fran.
Right.
You can see the World Series. We had Lou had the Braves, Paul and Norm had the Yankees, and Jeff had Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah, I don't care.
So Jeff went
Hey,
Toronto.
did I give you my money for this already?
No. Nobody's paid for this yet.
What is it, $10 or some shit?
10 big smackers. Of course, when we say $10, it really means $10,000. But we're big shooters. So
right.
Jeff had Yankees, White Sox, Houston.
Terrible.
And then Atlanta in the East, the Cubs winning the Central. That it could happen, right? I mean, you're not feeling too bad.
Sure.
Hey, man, they just get the right mix of players in there, and they all get hot, man. They could fucking go on a stretch of like winning 10 in a row.
San Diego in the West, Philly, St. Louis, and Dodgers wild cards. You had Seattle and San Diego in the World Series, and Seattle win it. And Paul had the Yankees over the Brewers. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Lots of different picks here. I had Atlanta over Toronto. So, anyways, all right, Paul. I know you got to get some shut eye. I just wanted to throw that in there because you're actually.
I forgot about that, as I always do. Forget about that.
You're up at what, about 5 o'clock in the morning anyway?
What's that?
I said you're what, like up at 5 o'clock in the morning anyway?
Yeah, 4:15 or so.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. Jeez.
Yeah, I get up early.
Oh.
Start my day early. I'm done by 2:30 or 3. So.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful thing.
Good happy hour hours, right?
Yeah. So, get my day over with. I talk to a lot of people in London and Munich, so it's I gotta get to them before their day's over. So.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, for us, it's like we got California people, so
right.
We can be up little area. We have East Coast people too, but yeah,
I
nobody.
have people in Hong Kong, which I
Yeah, we don't have London or Germany, so
Yeah.
that's the
But-
reason why this podcast is gonna be hard for Steiger to be on, because unless it's a holiday, there's really no.
There's always a holiday in Germany. It's they have a holiday every other Monday in the summer.
If we do it at 8 at night, it's like what, I don't know, 2 in the
Yeah.
morning there. I can't remember exactly. So just
All right. Well, thanks, Paul.
Yeah, that was fun. I'll do it again later in the year, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, everybody should. We'll definitely do it
daylight
at least
longer.
twice.
Are you coming back this summer, Lou, for vacation at all? Or
I don't have any plans for vacation.
Lou, was Lou gonna come back?
I don't know what we're doing. I know we might be planning to come out to Chicago.
Yeah.
My wife's family is out, lives out there, so I'm not sure what we're doing. No plans yet, no reservations.
I don't like leaving Chicago in the summer. It's too nice here to go anywhere. So
I know that's when you want to leave. It's like during the winter time.
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
places.
I went
Get
to
the fuck
Palm
out of here
Springs
for a little bit.
went out to Palm Springs in January. That was wonderful. Love to do that again.
I mean,
That's
it's different. It's different.
Palm
here,
Springs, Florida, or
obviously.
Palm Springs, California.
California. I don't know.
Okay.
Florida. Fuck that place.
It's different. In Connecticut, it's different, obviously, in the winter and the summer. But Chicago is just really stark difference. Like it's just such a much different place in the summer. In the winter, it's just.
This past week it was so nice. I mean, it was so beautiful on Saturday and Sunday. It was just everyone's mood changed.
The first year I was in Illinois, I'm trying not to be too long, but the first year I went to Illinois was in '88, and that winter was the coldest winter I'd ever experienced in my life. I mean, we would get, I think the coldest I'd ever experienced in Connecticut, my whole childhood, was like 6 degrees below zero.
Yeah.
It was below that winter. And I was like, oh my God. And then that summer was the summer.
The drought.
Yeah. And it was
I
like
remember that.
100 degrees, like I was like, what the hell is wrong with this place? This is the worst place ever. I mean, I was freezing my ass off in the winter, and then it was ridiculous. I remember stepping out of my apartment, and I could feel like the heat almost go like into my body. It was like so oppressive, and I was like, oh my God, but actually I'd spent many summers since then in Illinois, and that was probably the worst one. There was maybe one other one that was bad in '95, maybe. I can't remember what it was, but
that's when those people died.
yeah. But anyway, so it wasn't as extreme as I was thinking it was, because that was my at that point I had 1 year of experience, and I was like, oh my God.
All right, Paul. Well, good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, you too.
And
Lou, Jeff, I'll
get
see
to
you.
bed. You've got to get up for work.
Yeah, I will see you probably this weekend, Jeff.
All right, sounds good, man.
Good luck to Paulzadi, man.
Thanks. I hope so. Yeah.
21-9. Keep it going.
Things are turning around.
Let's see how you start the week off here. I know I'm not doing too well.
All
right, see you, buddy.
Good night.
Well, I think that brings the whole show to an end. What do you think?
Yeah. So a little bit more reasonable length. I think this is
much so. We're right about the 1.5 hour mark.
I think that this is the wave of the future. I think once everybody has already done it once, I think things will shorten up a little bit. We'll see, but I think so.
Yeah. I like it. Anyway, cheers to you. I was looking at the sheet just a second ago, and it was Lorenzen. Been doing so well. Gives up like 5 earned runs in 5 innings, 3 of them off home runs.
Who was it?
Lorenzen.
Oh.
Michael Lorenzen. He qualifies as a relief pitcher too, but they have him starting right now because I think somebody's out. They got hurt. So if he goes back to a relief role, I can keep him as a starting pitcher, and he'll be like doing 2 innings in the bullpen, getting holds instead of, winning games.
I saw, before we came on, I saw that Zach had increased his points lead over me. It's like I don't even have a pitcher going tonight, and he's got Christian Javier. I don't know how he's doing, but he had gone 3 2/3 with no earned runs. But that's the last time I checked. but I feel like it's going to be like I'm driving along. I'm going like, I'm going like 78 miles an hour. I'm going pretty good, and then like this guy passes me, and then I'm just watching him. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be pulling up to him and catching up again, or if that's just it. But I enjoyed it. I
He
enjoyed my
is
6 or
definitely
7
on
weeks.
the move, man. I mean, that guy is definitely on the move. He is trending the right way.
Yeah, I enjoyed my 6 or 7 weeks on top. It was great,
That was one of the hottest starts I've seen any team come out with.
But I think the true talent level of the Gaggers is a lot closer to 500 than that start was. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And it's hard, like I said this past week. You know how you get a feel for how you're going. Maybe you're not counting the points up. I don't count them up until the Friday ticker, at least. And I didn't have the feeling like, oh man, I'm really having a bad week. I was like, I knew it wasn't a great week, but I went 1-5. It's if you, it's tough.
You scored 401 points and went 1-5. So what does
Yeah,
that tell you about the week? I mean, everybody was kind of in the upper fours. I don't think anybody had 500. But
yeah, 488.
yeah, it was
I
it
thought
was a
was out of
tight
that.
race.
So yeah, but anyways, but it just goes to show. I mean, you can go 1-5 pretty easy. It's
Yeah.
easy to do. 0-6 usually you have to have like I'm sure Hack had the feeling like, man, oh man, I'm not having a good week. But I didn't have that feeling, and I only had one more win than he did. So.
Well, today so far, what you've got is about 19 points.
Woo, that's not good.
What I'm getting right now is 20 points. No, actually 19. That Shohei Ohtani is a hit.
How about Satch? What's he at now?
Oh damn it. First two things I see is a 16 and a 13.
For his pitcher
Yeah,
only?
he's got 27 on the pitching and 46 on the hitting
Woo.
so far.
Oh
So
yeah.
he's starting off the week at 73 points. Naka's 34 on the hitting, 3 on the pitch, 37 points.
Well, I hope there's a police officer up there with a radar gun, and maybe he has to pull him over or something. So.
B.E.E.R's got 60. Let's play. Oh, let's play should have played somebody. Missed 13 points on Bassett. Got 7 on the pitching, 29 on the hit, so he's 36. Got Platinum Sombreros at 58 total.
It's not bad for a Monday, I guess, right?
Holy Cow's looking at 55. Zadi coming in at let's see here, 44. Jack Wilson 52. Then I have 20. Now I have 20. And Big McBride's got themselves 30. Oh, yeah, we're starting off great, aren't we?
No.
Oh, all right. I think I'm done.
All right.
Great week, my friend. Good luck with you.
All right,
Hopefully I
Jeff.
get 6-0 and you get 5-1. How's that sound?
That would be all right. I'd take it.
Yeah.
I would do that. Let's fix it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. How? You're gonna make a phone call to somebody and tell them to start hitting?
I can manipulate the Yahoo stuff. And, I can pretty much have the standings go however I want them to go. So. No.
Well, interesting to know.
No, I don't think there's any way for me to do that.
No.
I think you guys see everything I do anyway, which is good. Like if I add a player to somebody's team or whatever, you'll see that, hey, why'd Lou do that? So I did that one time when somebody said like I did not mean to drop this guy or whatever. It's like I dropped Mike Trout. But that's only one time I can think of.
Yeah, I think I might remember that.
Yeah, but you guys will see anything I do. So
Everybody understands. So, nobody's in their right mind is going to drop Mike Trout. It had to be an accident.
yeah, unless it was me, you know, no, my number said to drop Trout and pick up, Miguel Andujar. So.
Boy.
All right.
All right. All right, buddy. Well, you have a great day, and what time are we gonna do what we're gonna do next week? Do we do it at 8 o'clock again?
I think, yeah, the same usual time.
Okay,
And if you want to change it, that's fine too.
no problem. I think we can do that.
So you work during the day, you said, right?
Yeah, it's on. Only reason why I'm working is I gave one of my reps the go ahead to go see family out of town. They were supposed to be working that day, but I have to cover for them.
So you're doing like a normal, like it'd be like a normal Monday as far as hours?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, and it's going to be up in my area, so that's no big deal.
All
So
right.
it's right around where I live. I have to cover that route, so that'll be easy. And yeah, we'll just do the same thing we normally do.
All right. Well, I'll see you next week.
All right, man. I will send you the email and we'll talk beforehand.
Okay.
Have a great day and good luck in this week.
All right. See
But
you.
not better luck than I have.